Hi, Neil Adler. I want to show you a fast, reliable way to clean the slide of your chromatic harmonica. If you play this instrument, you know there's two main problems. One is valve problems, and the other is the slide. The valve or wind saver problems can be minimized by good technique. That means warming up your instrument, letting it cool off when you're done, playing with a clean mouth, avoiding liquids and foods, and head-up position. Slide problems will happen to everyone no matter what, and it needs to be cleaned frequently. I clean mine anywhere from every day to a few times a week, after each gig and sometimes even on the gig. Here's a fast method that I found that works reliably well to clean it. Here I have my Seidel Saxony, my preferred instrument. You need a Phillips head screwdriver and an alcohol swipe. Back out the two mouthpiece assembly screws completely. Set the mouthpiece over to the side. The slide is in the middle. There's 4 pieces here, but you don't need to clean all of them. Take your alcohol swipe, clean the H bar, which is left in place. Let it dry. Take your slide, let it overhang, do not bend it. That will cause a lot of problems. And wipe it up and down. You're basically getting off the dry saliva that turns to glue and causes all the catching and even locking up of the slide. Put that over, and then here we have the backing plate attached to the mouthpiece. Clean around the bumpers. Take a look at the bumpers. If they're bent, torn, or squashed, they should be replaced, and that's a frequent problem that causes the slide to catch. The only difficult part is reassembling it. Look for the hole for the spring. The left top hole is to the left. Hook it in the spring. Sometimes you need to bring the spring down a little bit. It tends to move upwards. Hook it and make sure it's lying flat. Then maintain a little tension on the slide and take the mouthpiece assembly with the bumpers in place and the groove for the spring here and lay it in, keeping some pressure downward, and drop the screws down. If you've done it correctly, the slide is still in position, hasn't jumped off the spring. Tighten up the screws partially, make sure it's still sliding well, and then you can tighten it completely. All manufacturers have different amounts of torque or bend of the mouthpiece. This instrument has very little, and you can tighten it very solidly and it will still move well. After you've tightened them, look into the light and make sure there's no gaps under the mouthpiece. Sometimes you won't have tightened it all the way. I can tighten that a little bit more. And there should be no catching at all. If that hasn't worked, then I advise you to clean the whole assembly in soap and water, dry it carefully, put it back together. If it's still not working right, send it to a good tech. Good luck.